At 6, Senate Democrats plan to address high electric bills that people have been seeing over the past few months. We have the details on that legislation coming up.
Firefighters in Hartford are keeping busy after 2 fires forced nearly 4 dozen people out of their homes. I'm Jamel Johnson, and coming up on Fox 61, a look at the firefighting risk first responders face in the cold winter months, as well as what you can do to help prevent them.
It's been the honor of my life to see the resilience of essential workers getting us through a once-in-a-century pandemic.
President Biden says farewell from the Oval Office. Hear more of his message to the American people as he reflected on his time at the White House.
All local, all morning. This is Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Good morning, sunshine. 6 o'clock on this Thursday, a.k.a. Friday Eve. Thank you for waking up with us here on Fox 61 and Fox 61 Plus. I'm Symphony Privet.
And I'm Tim Lammers. Good morning to you. Let's get over to meteorologist Matt Scott on a cold morning.
Yes, but the winds have backed off. So, yes, it's still tough out there. But if you're thinking, oh, gosh, yesterday was really, when the winds are up, you were feeling it. They're backing off. We didn't think that was going to be lasting a long time. That's a good thing. Temperatures, they're still down for the count, though. We do have a quiet stretch of weather, though, into the weekend. Maybe a few flurries tonight, not a big deal. In the 7, rain, yes. Snow, yes. How much? You might be disappointed by that. We'll talk about it coming up. Satellite radar is quiet. Got a wind fairly light out of the west-northwest, so it's not taking much off of these already low temperatures between 10 in Wilmanic, mid-20s in New Haven. But generally speaking, everyone's in the teens. Your current winds right now are just fine. So the wind chill, okay, 4 in Hartford ain't great, 3 in Torrington and not much better at 3. But for the most part, we have definitely turned the corner. Dress for, hey, here's an improvement, 20 later on today as we finally get some milder air coming in, slowly but surely. Forecast details for the kids on the bus, a little bit of cloud coverage later on today. Temperatures still struggling, but we have milder numbers. And that will play into the weekend forecast in terms of what kind of precip we see. We'll talk about it coming up. 6:02. Good morning to you. For the first time, I get to say Rachel Piscatelli. Hello.
Hey, Matt, how are you?
I'm good, and you?
Good, I'm doing well. All right, 6:02 right now. We are following 2 crashes. First one over in Windsor this morning on the northbound side. So, we'll take you to this one first. The over in Fairfield, overturned tractor trailer, northbound 95 near exits 25 and 26. You'll also notice that the southbound side dealing with delays this morning. This is an area that is typically congested on the southbound side, and I think folks are also trying to see what's going on over there. So, on that northbound side, so expect some delays both directions. There is a crash in Windsor this morning, 91 northbound near exits 35 and 36. This is described as a 2-vehicle crash, so this is going to cause some significant delay. If you're heading to the airport this morning, give yourself some extra time as you may encounter this delay that is continuing to back up this morning. Send things over to you. Good morning.
Well, today, Senate Democrats plan to address high electric costs after months of people complaining about their bills.
Yeah, they are set to unveil a proposal this afternoon. Fox 61's Lindsay Kane is live in Hartford with the details. Lindsay.
Hi, good morning. Well, this bill is called the Ratepayers First Act. Now, the specific details on the legislation are still unclear this morning, but it focuses on costs and making sure that utility companies focus on customers and not stakeholders. Now, Senate Democrats are set to unveil more on that legislation at 12 this afternoon. The bill plans to enhance the reliability of Connecticut's power grid and increase energy production. This comes after months of high electric costs for customers across the state. That's something people have been very vocal about, especially about the increase to the public benefits portion of bills. And that's the part of your electric bill that likely spiked last summer. It funds state energy programs, including millions of dollars of unpaid bills during the pandemic. Republican lawmakers pushed for a special session to eliminate or reduce that cost for families. But Governor Lamont said that was not the way to address the issues that led to the higher bills. He said it could wait until the General Assembly met for the next legislative session, which of course is happening now. Now, Senate Democrats tell us this is their flagship energy legislation. And again, we'll learn more details about that legislation and exactly what it entails at 12 this afternoon. So you can stick with us on air, online, and on Fox 61 Plus. Plus. Live in Hartford this morning, Lindsay Kane, Fox 61.
Alrighty, thank you, Lindsay. We'll check back in with you later on this morning. Now, if you struggle to pay your monthly energy bills, Eversource will host a free in-person event for folks in Central Connecticut to meet with representatives from the utility to learn about programs it offers. This includes ways to reduce unpaid balances, extended payment plans, and ways to protect your home from shutoffs. Today's event will run from 4 to 7 p.m. at the Human Resources Agency of New Britain on Clinton Street.
Hartford firefighters had to fight 2 separate apartment fires in the span of about 24 hours this week. And at one of them, a firefighter got hurt while helping to save lives. Fox 61's Jamel Johnson spoke with a fire chief in Naugatuck about the risks that firefighters face, especially during the winter.
Fires can break out in the summer, spring, or fall, but in the winter time is where they pose the most risk to not just everyday people like you and me, but to those people putting themselves on the front line. It's been a busy week for Hartford firefighters as 2 apartment fires broke out barely 24 hours apart. The fire on Monday displaced 26 people, including 21 adults and 5 children. 15 people lost their homes in another fire Tuesday night. In that fire, 2 people were injured, one being a firefighter, putting into perspective how dangerous winter fires can be, not just for families, but first responders too. We spoke with Naugatuck Assistant Fire Chief Walter Seaman about what makes this wintertime a big risk.
Fires can happen at any time, but they do statistically seem to increase in the wintertime due to heating, holiday decorations, cooking, and candles. We find that some of our at-risk population sometimes have space heaters.
Each fire is different, and firefighters have to approach every situation carefully in cold temperatures.
The toll it takes on the firefighters, if we have deep snow that we have to go through, the fire hydrants, if we have to dig them out, we use water, so we need to be concerned with freezing. If we have to shovel the hydrant, that's more labor intensive than, say, in the spring or summertime where we don't.
Strategies outside the building may change, but inside it's business as usual.
The rescues, the exposures, we need to search, we need to confine the fire, suppress the fire. All those things still need to get done. We don't change our strategy or tactics on the interior of the fire.
With more potential risk during winter, Naugatuck Fire Department is taking steps to prevent injuries to their crew.
We really take care here in Naugatuck with rehab. We'll call additional resources in, mutual aid, to ease some of that environmental stress on our firefighters.
Assistant Chief Seaman says it's not easy seeing people lose their homes, but preventative measures should always be practiced.
There's a lot of resources. Every town has a building inspector, a fire marshal. Contact your local fire department. I'm sure someone there will give you some safety tips, the do's and don'ts. Everybody needs to be safe.
While those 2 Hartford fires are still under investigation, the Special Services Unit and the Red Cross are working together to get those displaced people the support they need during this tough time. In Naugatuck, Jamel Johnson, Fox 61.
Already time now 6:08. 1 month after 17-year-old Daley Jackson was killed in New Haven, police say they caught the person responsible. The suspect is also 17 years old, and he is charged with murder. Fox 61's Julia LeBlanc has reaction from Jackson's family.
The friends and family of Daley Jackson mustered up the strength to come to the New Haven Police Department, share his story, thank officers for their work, and some even sent prayers to the person charged with his murder. This all comes a month after 17-year-old Daley Jackson was shot and killed while walking on Shelton Ave. New Haven police say someone in a stolen car pulled up next to him. A passenger got out and appeared to get into an argument with Jackson before shooting and killing him. His family now remembering Jackson as a good kid with a big heart.
He was a beautiful person. Anybody that knows him knows that once you come in contact with him, you're affectionately drawn to him because he's charismatic.
Last week, police identified the person who they believe shot Jackson. 17-year-old Tremaine Poole of New Haven is now facing murder and weapons charges. Poole had his day in court on Wednesday, where prosecutors called this a gang-related incident.
A lot of juveniles, a lot of other not named people in the warrant may have something to gain by pointing the finger at this young man. hopefully more truth by way of evidence will be forthcoming to help him.
Now, Poole's bond was set at $4 million. He's expected back in court on January 29th. We are in New Haven. Julia LeBlanc, Fox 61.
Julia, thank you. Thank you very much. Now, with just days to go before he leaves office, President Joe Biden did speak to the American people from the Oval Office yesterday for the last time.
Yeah, the president talked about his 4 years as commander-in-chief, and he spoke about the strength and history of our society, what it means to be an American, and why it's important to protect democracy. He also spoke about his administration's work to bring a new generation of manufacturing jobs back to America.
We invented the semiconductor, smaller than the tip of my little finger. And now it's bringing those chip factories and those jobs back to America where they belong, creating thousands of jobs.
President Biden also spoke about the accomplishments and importance of immigrants in shaping America's values. And he also said it's important to keep America's allies close.